was standing on the Rialto Bridge in Venice. The sun was setting over the mysterious city, casting shadows over its rich architecture, blurring its cobblestone passageways. This ancient city had a perpetual longing, and I still had a longing too. Looking back on my life, my joys, my disappointments, my loves, my heartbreaks, the world had been kind to me. I was content. But how it all passes by so quickly, and how I still ached for her. I pulled 4 coins from my pocket and made a foolhardy wish as I threw each coin into the canal. 1 for youth, 1 for wealth, the 3rd for love, and the 4th for fame. A gentleman approached me with 4 coins I had just thrown into the canal. This charming stranger told me that he could give me a sample of my 4 wishes. All I have to do is to hold each coin to the full moon and say my wish out loud. Once all 4 wishes are granted, I must return to the Rialto Bridge before sunrise to strike a bargain. Could I be dreaming? I set off to find out. I moved quickly off the Rialto Bridge. I needed a secret place to make my first wish. Although my body was weak and ravaged by time, the excitement of the possibilities gave me an unexpected energy to move quickly. Noises filled the air, mixed with laughter and music pouring out of endless cafes. I scurried through narrow passages, dodging tourists and street performers. The sound of distant clarinet led me to a courtyard where actors were performing a medieval play. I took my first coin and held it to the moon. The crowds were too entranced with these actors to take any notice of me. But I needed privacy for my wish for youth before it was to be granted. A dark walkway off the courtyard led to an unlocked gate. I opened the gate and passed through to find a small private dock that stationed 2 small boats. This was perfect. I looked down into the canal to see my reflection. And my face began to change. The lines that once traced my face began to smooth. My silvery hair turned to a luxurious black. I did not feel any aches in my entire body. My God, I'm a man of 25. And so I held my next coin to the moon and made my second wish. My second wish for wealth. I found myself at the casino. I played the roulette table. Bet on black, bet on red. 14, bet on 10. The chips piled up. I won again. Bet on black, bet on 10. The ball bounced and bounced in its fateful dance. From groove to groove, fulfill my chance. Round and round, the wheel spun. The chips piled up. I won again. Bounce and bounce from groove to groove. My bouncing friend. Bounce your way home and make me rich again. My next wish is love. I walked into St. Mark's Square, where lovers are suspended in blissful moment, holding hands under 1,000,000 stars that only heaven could design. The music, a swell of Viennese and Parisian tunes, permeate the crisp night air. Songs about champagne, the good life. And there she was, a beautiful vision, singing at one of those outdoor cafes. This elegant brunette with exotic eyes, her voice intoxicating, each phrase a slight cadence of sadness. That voice called to me, yearned for me. She looked just as my love looked of many years past. Was I dreaming? I watched her for organ chord. It was the most passionate experience I've had in over 50 years. Her touch, so familiar, so kind. That knowing touch meant only for me. We are young and in love. We will build a new life together. So now, I will hold my last coin to the moon and wish for fame. Suddenly, something has changed. There is fear in my lover's eyes. She tells me that she has been promised to a powerful and diabolical man. This diabolical man is part of an arranged marriage. Because I am famous now, everyone knows that I am with her and that I have ruined her reputation. There is an angry knock at the door. Revenge awaits. And the price for her betrayal is most certain death to me. I go to the bedroom balcony and climb down the drain pipe. No one can protect me. There is nowhere to hide. The underworld is on a manhunt to find me and kill me. I need to get back to the Rialto Bridge. I am running as fast as I can. A glimpse of dawn is breaking over the sea. It is a race against time, and I fear I am losing. There are crowds of people, nor tourists nor street performers in my path. I only hear the sounds of distant boats. Pounding in my heart. The cafes are closed. There's no music, no laughter. As I scurry through narrow passages, I see a gentleman stranger in the distance dancing on the Rialto Bridge. With an elegant wave of his hand, he calls to me, smiling at the promise. Smiling at the promise of a bargain. My first step onto the Rialto Bridge, and quickly my hair turns gray. My hands hold the railing with an unsteady grip. My bones ache. The lines reappear all over again and my eyes strain. My heart is so heavy. I've lost everything. Everything I had wished for. I was standing on the Rialto Bridge in Venice. The sun was rising over the mysterious city. Shadows began to evaporate. The city's rich architecture now sharpened, piercing through the darkness. This city had a perpetual longing. I still had that longing too. Looking back on my night, my youth, my fortune, love, fame, I realized that life is too short. But that's what makes it matter. So I declined the bargain. I took 4 coins from my pocket and threw them back into the canal. One for youth, the second for wealth, the third for love, and the fourth for fame. My gentleman friend smiled and disappeared into a growing crowd of tourists. Twilight will soon come to greet me, waiting to swallow the day and all its hopes back down to the sea. It frightens me a little, and yet I'm drawn to it, because in my final hour, I will still have that longing. That longing I will still